Hello, guys, and welcome back to The Ones Who Live. And I'm joined again by Poppy, and we are going to be talking all about episode 2. Now, what were your thoughts on episode 2, Poppy?
It's my favorite episode ever, and I love it, and I love everything about it. And it's also
Honestly,
heartbreaking.
honestly, this was an incredible episode. This was like a solid 9.5 out of 10 kind of episode. Like, the first episode was probably like an 8.59. This was like
Yeah,
this was as good as The Walking Dead has been
the
in a
first
in a while.
episode was good because I haven't seen Rick
Yeah,
for like 5 years,
yeah.
literally,
No, literally,
like
yeah.
Michonne. And episode 2 is just good because Michonne is amazing and her story is great.
We haven't seen Michonne since 2020. We haven't seen Rick since 2018,
18, yeah, I know.
which is actually 6 years,
Heartbreak.
not 5. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's like the how long it's been for everyone
Oh,
else,
okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So
which is
essentially,
clever.
yeah, essentially, there's a lot to talk about in this episode, but fortunately, it just follows Michonne and her navigating her way through life basically. So the last time we saw her, she found out that Rick was alive. She stumbled upon a community and saved these two people from some walkers, and now that's where we kind of picked up from, and we got
Yeah,
a really fun intro with like exploding walkers, which I thought was quite cool. And
yeah, that
then
was good.
it went straight into obviously her sitting with the leader of the encampment being like, I want a horse. Give me a horse. What did you think of
Yeah,
that whole segment?
I just enjoyed seeing a new community because I've
Yeah.
been waiting to find out who these people were
Yeah,
for
facts.
4 years, I guess. But I liked how much she was like, I don't care what you want to tell me, I want this.
Yeah. It was so
Like, this is
funny.
what I want.
Yeah, it was
Let's
it was
go.
so funny her just sitting there and this woman being like, "Oh, you'd be really useful there." And then hang on, I've got their names written down. Bailey
Bailey,
and Aiden
yeah.
were the ones. Aiden was just like, just give her a damn horse. It really caught me off guard how unserious it was. Just give her a horse. And then obviously we were introduced to Nat. Nat
Yeah,
is a really fun character. He walks in and immediately starts like having a go at the leader of the community. How could you do that to your sister? And then the sister's like, I'm still here, you know. um
I did like that.
it was a really good
Yeah.
sort of intro to the episode. I thought they really handled the character introductions really well. I felt
Yeah.
very connected to them immediately, which is something that I don't think I really felt with the characters in the previous episode. Maybe because like it's the whole
Maybe
military
it's because I want to
backdrop.
hate them.
What's that? Sorry.
It's because I want to hate them.
Yeah, that
You know
is that
what I mean?
kind
Like
of.
they're keeping Rick, so they're the villains.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like villainous. Whereas these people are just pure-hearted, lovely, genuinely just good people. Um, and we all know what happens to good people on this show.
Oh,
So, the one thing I did want to point out before we move on to one of the coolest scenes of the episode, was the fact that the walkie-talkie stopped working, and I don't think you understand how much that made me happy that the walkie-talkie stopped working.
okay.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
So, whereabouts are you in Fear the Walking Dead?
Oh, I know exactly what you're about to say. You're talking about. Oh, I actually don't. I don't know. Are you talking about what Morgan says?
I'm just talking about their use of walkie-talkies and the
Oh
fact that
no, I haven't. I just refuse to watch it. Okay, like I'm on a
every
hate.
single episode of Fear the Walking Dead, every character has a walkie-talkie on them and they're just talking over these walkie-talkies. There's no sort of concern about battery usage. There's no concern about how far away they are from each other. I don't believe the fact that walkie-talkies are not magical items in the Walking Dead universe, and this proved they aren't. I was so happy when she was like, hello, hello, and they weren't picking up. I was like, finally, finally. Oh, I'd had
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
I still haven't finished Fear the Walking Dead. I've got
I just,
five
I just,
episodes
I just
left. I've got 5 episodes left. They've just reintroduced Troy, and I just think,
Ah, why?
I think that's my least favorite thing about this show is when they show someone to be dead, and then they're like, oh, they didn't actually die, by the way. They got hit in the head for a hammer, but they're not actually dead. No one dies from a hammer head to a hammer blow to the head.
They literally got seen being eaten by a pack of walkers, but like they're still alive there.
Yeah, no,
It's
they're
fine.
still alive. They just had somebody
They
else's body on
literally
top
were
of them.
literally in a burning building, but she's fine. It's fine.
Madison was in a burning stadium surrounded by walkers, but she's okay. She just has breathing problems now.
It's fine.
So, as you can tell, it was a big thing to me that the walkie-talkie stopped working. But we are going to move on to the cool segment of, and this is something that I was like, the fuck? But did Michonne have a RPG launcher? Like a rocket launcher on her? Was that what she had?
I mean, they do have one, so I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay, because she rocket launched a bunch of zombies. The scene was really cool. Aiden, Bailey, some other people, Nat, they came to help. It was really cool. Yeah. There was lots of explosions. The walkers split like the Red Sea. That was quite cool. It was... I would have liked to have seen a little bit more with the rocket launcher. I felt like that was done very quickly. Like, it was like, oh, one rocket, and then the burning walker exploded, and then it was like, oh, okay. But I thought that the Red Sea splitting bit was actually quite a cool segment. I liked it.
I did like that bit.
Yeah, it felt very much like...
I like how we've seen both scenes of where we left it in Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's good that like we're all caught up.
Joan is running towards.
Yeah.
Is that the Red Sea Walkers?
Yeah, I think I need to go back and rewatch like their last segment in like the final episode of The Walking Dead, because I don't remember it that well. Like, I was deep in the fact that it was like a whole year and a half ago now.
Oh, I've rewatched it since then, so I just needed to rewatch the end. So I rewatched the end before I watched the show.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I probably should have done that. That would have been a good idea. But the next segment that I wanted to talk about was just before we get into the whole chlorine situation. There was a really cute scene with Michonne and Aiden, where Aiden was like, I'm pregnant, and I literally, as soon as she said she was pregnant, I was like, she's not surviving.
She's gonna die.
She's dead. She's going to die.
Literally. I was like, right.
And then
dead.
the worst part is her next line, and she was like, Michelle was like, go, here is where Alexandria is. Find them and be safe. And she went, not until you find Rick. And I went, she's dead. She's so dead. She's so unbelievably dead. And it's so frustrating. I was...
they could have just... Alexandria.
Because in the next scene... And I gotta admit, this was one of the sequences of the show that I had been spoiled for me, but I didn't really know. All I knew was like that one shot of the chlorine bombs being dropped. That's all I'd seen. I am not entirely sure whether it was portrayed as accurately as it possibly could have been, but again, as Poppy likes to say,
a lot of problems with this scene.
Yeah.
But like, it's a TV show.
Yeah, it's for the plot. It's the plot in it. Yeah.
And you were like, oh, and they're just magically back together. They're magically fine now. And I was like, it's been a year. Like, calm down.
No. So what I did is I texted her and I was like, I'm not sure this is how chlorine works. Because I'm fairly certain that like I think mustard gas is the one that's like that, but chlorine gas, I'm fairly certain, even if you I don't know, I don't actually know the science behind it, but I just was very concerned about the fact that they were all spending so much time out in it with just cloths, wetted cloths over their faces. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know whether that would save you.
Well, that. Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're not fine,
No.
and a lot of them don't live.
Yeah. So they were with a group of like 20 people, and the only people to survive, obviously for plot reasons, were Michonne,
Sure.
Nat, Aiden, and Bailey. And obviously they are all coughing up lungs. They can barely breathe. They're hideously, like, their faces are melted. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit nasty, horrible, disgusting. But it was a fantastic scene because Michonne went to go get breathing apparatus, and when she came back, Aiden had unfortunately died
Yeah.
and bitten Bailey, and Bailey had also died and was now a walker. I think I'd missed the bit with Bailey because I was like, hang on, where did this guy go? But I then rewound and
No,
then...
you don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it?
She just comes back, and obviously they tied up
Yeah.
Aiden,
Yeah.
and then Bailey was just a walker.
Okay,
You
yeah.
don't see them. You don't see it. It just happens when she gets back.
Okay, right, that makes sense. Because one minute they were both alive, and then the next minute they were both dead, and I was like, huh? So I'm glad that that is cleared up. But I did really appreciate the fact that they spent so much time training themselves to breathe
Yeah.
again, getting better.
Yeah.
Because, like, and this is another thing with Fear the Walking Dead, they had a nuclear bomb dropped
Yeah.
on them, and it was like, oh, if we just put on suits, we'll be fine. And it's like,
But how it works.
So I'm glad that they actually accurately portrayed the effects of this kind of bomb being dropped on them, because
Yeah.
it was a really cool section. And even though some people would be like, oh, this is so boring, I actually thought it was fascinating to watch them having to breathe through a mask, and like she was having to train herself because obviously their bodies are weak and things like that. And I just thought it was a really, really good segment of the episode, I'll be 100% honest.
I really liked how, like the whole section from when the chlorine gets dropped to them working out.
Yeah.
Like that whole section, even between Aiden and Bailey's death, it's just like they could have gone.
Yeah.
You know, and they stayed to help her, and that's the kind of people they are.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's the kind of people Rick and Michonne are too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is fascinating.
And it's so harsh, and like I loved how they showed the seasons on the window on the top.
Yeah.
It was great, love it.
That was something that I'd missed, because I think I was texting you at the same time as watching, so I was like catching all like the shots of her with the oxygen mask, but I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the seasons changing. And then you were like, Bessie, it's been a year, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, Ethan, it's been a year, and he was like, oh. Okay.
No, literally.
Quite right, because now the timelines match up.
Yes, the timelines do match up, because that was something that I was concerned about, because I was like,
That's how they did it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. The next section of the episode, and this was something that I was a little disappointed at, but something that like I wish had just been explored a little bit more, or I hope that they come back to it in like a Tales of the Walking Dead episode or something like that. But the crashed cruise ship that had Safe Harbor on it. There's a story there, and I don't know what it is. And then the burned piles of bodies, is that down to the CRM? Or is that something that we don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's not explained in the show.
How I answered that. They never bring it up again, I don't think. And if they did, it really isn't like a big thing.
Okay. So that's something that I was like, I really wanted to know more about that, because I'm a big person when it comes to apocalypses is like set pieces. That's why
Yeah.
New York City being ruined was so fascinating to
Okay.
look at, because the set pieces just looked gorgeous. And this was another striking set piece of a crashed cruise ship on its side with a banner that's ripped and faded that says Safe Harbour. There is a story there, and I want to know what it is.
Mm,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's,
It would be good as like a Tales, I think. But
yeah.
I don't think they're going to bring it up again.
I don't think that they're bringing back Tales of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is a shame, because it lends itself so perfectly to this universe, I think. And I just don't think that they had enough of a focus on the show at all. Because it kind of came out and then it just like, it's still never been
I
released in the UK.
exactly, which is something I just hate with every single spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Don't even
fine.
get me started on that. So yeah, there was that, and then we're now on to the all important scene. Oh, actually, let me, before I go on to the all important
No,
scene. There's a conversation between Nat and Michonne, by the fire
no.
pit, and again, I texted Poppy and I was like, Denai is putting a shift in. The shift is being put
Let's
in.
see.
What,
Everyone
like,
in the show has earned that page slip. Like,
and mean it, because I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. Michonne is a character that is fantastic. She's a fantastic character. But we rarely see Michonne lose her composure. The last time I
yeah,
saw Michonne lose her composure was during the Scars episode in season 9, when she had to
yeah.
kill all those kids. That
Understand.
was the last time I saw her lose her shit. Before that, I can't even remember. Maybe Carl dying.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Carl's gonna be brought up in the next episode, and we're gonna talk about Carl then. But like, I don't think I've ever seen like her in a situation that's like, not to sort of put sort of like, not to say that it
like we've
isn't
never seen
stressful.
her in a vulnerable position.
Yes, that isn't her
Yeah,
under the stress of people dying or her having to do something that's horrific.
no,
Yeah, it's just
no,
like a genuine breakdown moment, and
yeah,
my god, it was beautiful. It was so,
yeah,
just wow is all I can say to it, is wow. Yeah,
yeah. It was so good.
it really
That
was.
whole conversation was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
But yeah, I
fantastic.
agree.
So we're now on to the scene of the episode in which Nat takes down a
Wait, wait,
helicopter.
wait.
Are we? Are we not?
What?
Oh.
Okay, Dad. Well, I'm actually recording something with someone else.
So we are now on to the helicopter takedown scene. I gotta say, this was a very, very fun scene, and it was nice to see the other side of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I really liked. What did you feel about this scene? Because I've got some problems with the scene personally, but they're very just nitpicky.
It's just so I don't know what the word is. Give me one sec. You know, like it's so like plot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so like
Because my
of course that helicopter that's just and then of course Rick's in that one and then magically they didn't shoot Rick for a start just in the helicopter itself.
yeah. I
You know what I mean?
I might need to rewatch it, but I had two problems with this series, this scene. Um, if I was just looking at it from a enjoying the show point of view, fantastic,
Yeah.
really really good. But as a critic, I've got to sit here and like pick it apart just a little bit, because my problem with this scene was, first of all, what the fuck was that weapon? What, it was like a harpoon
Oh my god!
bazooka.
It looked like one of them things from Game of Thrones they'd used to shoot down dragons. Just like
Literally.
small. And you cannot tell me it didn't.
No,
Okay?
facts.
Like that's what it was in my mind.
it was so sort of like, oh, where did you get where did you get this weapon from? Plot. From the plot armory.
On the plot.
Like I really thought that there would be a bigger group taking down the helicopter than just Nat and Michelle.
Yeah.
And I'm also not being funny. I'm not being funny. Like I said, I might need to rewatch it, but I'm 100% sure that the angle that he was shooting at is not the same angle that
But it went
in the helicopter in the first episode.
because it literally went into the helicopter.
Front, yeah.
Straight
But
up.
when we saw it, it went up. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm so happy you agree with me. I'm so happy.
Fine. Plot.
Plot, yeah, plot. Yeah, plot. Is what it is. But it's fine, because the whole scene then culminated in Rick finding Michonne again. And then do you wanna explain what happened next?
Because then they just kill Nat. Straight off the bat. And I was like, oh, heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because I just want one person in that group to make it back to Alexandria.
Yeah. It was a tough one, and it was a tough one for two reasons. First of all, again, Nat was a fantastic character. He was the only one that survived the chlorine attack, and he had genuinely spent a year with Michonne. Like, I think that needs to be stressed with the fact that these two were like that by the end of this year.
For a year.
By themselves.
Together.
Yeah.
Like, and then just like, oh.
And it wasn't even like it was like dragged out. It was so quick and like
so quick.
And again, this is what I mean by like, this show is not pulling punches, and it's like, it's keeping me on my toes, because did I go into this episode expecting to be shocked twice? I don't think you understand. Like, the first episode, the helicopter thing shocked me, and then in this one, the chlorine took me off guard, and then this took me off guard.
Then that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So.
But then I do like what happens straight after, though.
When Rick holds her at gunpoint and tells her to pretend to be a bee.
Don't call them walkers. I call them that. You can't call them that. And it's like, you want them to just run somewhere, you know? Like, surely they hadn't got there that quick.
Yeah, that's the other thing that, like, I don't know what the logistics are of this, but like, surely they could have ran. Surely
they could have just run off.
Surely.
Like, Rick could have just been exploded with Okafar. Take your little thing off, mate, and just leg it. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Fine.
Yeah, whatever. But Michonne is now in the CRM. Brilliant.
Fine.
And it was a case. I put my notes out because I know what I'm talking about for the rest of the episode. So there was a scene where Michonne's been processed. She's now called Dana, and Michonne and Rick meet in like a secret room, and this was the moment where I was like, okay, this is realistic, because as soon as they knew they were alone, passionate kissing.
Yeah. And the thing is, then the problem that I have with the rest of the series is, guys, is this the time? Is this the time though? Like,
yes.
Time.
There was so many moments in the third episode where I was like, guys, now is not the time. Now is not the time.
Literally.
Now is not the time. Oh god. But this most certainly was the time, and it was worth it. I've always said that I have never particularly felt their connection until Rick left. And then I was like, oh, wow, okay. Like, I always knew that they were very close, but I never really saw that romantic spark with them until, like, they were, like, until after the war, I think. Like, I saw it in
Okay.
season 9, and then
Well,
obviously when he died, that's when I was like, okay. And then obviously her finding out he's still alive. Like, I can understand that, and I get that. But, like,
yeah.
at first I didn't really buy it. But now I am on board. I am buying it.
I just love them. They're my
Yeah.
favorite. Like I'm rewatching season 8 right
Hmm.
now. Charles about to die.
God.
Charles. And and Michonne keeps saying the because we're the ones who live. And every time they say it, I'm like looking at my friend who I'm forcing to watch it, and I'm like, because they're the ones who live.
Oh,
Every time
brilliant.
they say it, I'm like, because they're the ones who live. And she's like, Poppy, stop it. And I'm like, I just can't help it. I just
um
can't help it.
so that was like a really cool segment, and then I made a note of it because it was a fantastic exchange of dialogue, and it really did catch me off guard. But I think the line was, can we stop them? No. Can we try?
No.
We won't make it home. And that was the moment I knew that this was going to be a really, really tough series to watch, because it's just going to be them
Yeah.
attempting over and over again and them just being beaten down.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm seeing from the
Yeah.
third episode. But like, we'll see how it goes. But the last thing I want to talk about in this episode is a little Miss Jadis
Oh,
turning
they're
up in
shocking
Rick's
them.
apartment.
Mm.
because
But wait for you to go up.
like, my thing with her is, this is the first time we've seen her since The Walking Dead. We saw her briefly in World Beyond. I've seen that scene, but like, that wasn't really anything to do with
Okay.
the show. Anything. It was just a cameo of her.
Yeah.
I need to know how she's become so evil and nasty, because this is not the same woman that we left when
Okay.
she saved she saved Rick. This is not the same woman.
Hmm.
Do you agree with me?
Just keep watching.
Okay, because I'm gonna need more context,
I
because
can't give you. I can't say anything to you.
I thought
I'm
this
just
scene
gonna
was
nod
fascinating,
and smile.
because not only did, because I obviously completely forgot that Jadis knew Michonne. So when she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so Michonne's here now," I was like, "Oh fuck!" Oh
Yeah. They do know
no.
each other. They They basically leave at the same time.
Who?
Like Rick and Jordan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Michonne knows them. Because I've been trying to work out who Rick and Michonne don't know are dead.
Ooh.
Nothing. Just a
Rick
trust.
Rick doesn't know any of the Pike people. Jesus,
What is
Sadiq, um, Rosita. Please tell me, please tell me, please tell me. Do they address any of the deaths? I don't want to know who, but do they address any deaths that have happened? I think I know who it is, because I've seen the clips. Yeah, I've seen pictures and clips, so I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
other people talk?
Yeah. Okay. This is
Yeah.
my issue. Is also, I don't know whether this is just me, but I
Mm,
want to see a scene of Michonne being like, "This is what happened,"
that's what I wanted.
and I
And I
know I
wanted
know why they haven't included it. I know, because it's like,
uh,
it's pointless to the
more
point of
relevant.
like, it just doesn't add anything to the plot. But
Yeah.
if I
I
was
want
watching this show, I'm sitting here going, why is Rick not asking her all these questions about how everyone is?
because she doesn't know.
No, but
Like
she knows
no, but
enough.
she does when she left, but she doesn't know
Poppy, you're
anything
you're
else.
you're forgetting they haven't seen each other in 7 years.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
7 years
I know.
worth of gossip to talk about.
But she hasn't been not been there for 7 years.
No, she was there for 7 years.
The thing is, right, if I was Rick, I'd be like, oh, how is everyone? But that's not Rick's fucking question.
Right, it's about his kids, isn't it?
Right? Kid.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't actually know about the other one, does he?
He doesn't know about the other one,
He doesn't know the other one
you know?
exists.
But I just want like a little like clip of just them being with everyone else.
Yeah, that's all I want.
And just be like, oh my gosh, you're alive. Well, you're dead. Whoa, you know?
Yeah, that's literally all I want as well. So just before we finish off this episode, Jadis made Jadis. I cannot say that name. Jadis made a threat and was like, if you two try to leave, I will destroy Alexandria and all of your friends.
I was like, right. Why haven't you figured this out before?
Yeah, tough one. It's a tough one.
You know, like stuff.
Yeah. Tough. But that is all we have time for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Another extra packed long episode. I think we've been recording for about 35 minutes at this point. But thank you guys for sticking through. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. We are going to be doing an episode for the rest of the series, and got lots more to talk about because there's a lot more juicy content coming your way. So, goodbye from me.
Bye.
And
Sorry, I
I'll
thought you
see
were
you
gonna
guys
say.
later. See you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.